So definitely it has been a wonderful 2 weeks in the company so far. But last week I've worked with the growers team last week, and here this week I am working with extraction team, where I'll be meeting wonderful people. And here's one of us, who is Pikan.
Hi. Hello Ben, how are you today?
I'm definitely really excited because this is my first time out on camera, and I feel quite interested into the field we are doing here, which I'm really more than happy to share my interest and share my questionings of what we are learning here.
Yeah. First step, can you tell me about the safety of our team for first step?
Absolutely. So firstly, when we enter,
Yes.
we have to remove our shoes using tongs, as well as placing face masks to make sure to avoid contamination of other substances. Secondly, we have to put our lab coat and goggles to prevent any dangerous or hazardous substances from touching our skin or from touching our body, which can impose risk to us. And thirdly, we definitely have to wear a hair cap, of course, because in this case we do deal with dangerous substances, and if there is any phlegms in the laboratory, this makes sure our hair does not get burnt or get touched by any naked flames or any other hazardous or volatile substances we're working with.
And Ben, can you tell me about the first step for the extraction?
For extraction, we definitely need to put our raw materials by blending it first, then place it in a convection oven to make sure the heat circulates through it evenly. Then we put in the decarboxylate it to extract the terpenes, for example.
Yes.
Then later on, you put the sums of the raw materials then into supercritical CO2 machine.
Yes.
Where in this case, because it is soluble in carbon dioxide, which is a non-polar substance, which would definitely dissolve the raw materials.
And Ben, you can tell me the second step for the extraction with the supercritical CO2.
So afterwards, with the substance that we have here, the raw materials, we put it in the machine here to then form crude oil, which will then be performed into molecular distillation at some point.
And in crude oil we have the CBD or the fatty acids. After that, we have to use the winterization method to the fatty acids without the CBD. So when after winterization, we have the CBD crude oil. And how can we increase the high CBD of this machine?
So first we have to add the crude oil into this pot here.
Yes.
We have to heat the crude oil, and then the substance that has the lowest force of attraction or weakest intermolecular forces between the molecules will travel the furthest here. In this case, it will be ethanol. It will travel the furthest because even though it's got hydrogen bonds with the molecules, it still has very, very, very little number of electrons compared to CBD and terpenes. And the London forces are weaker than both the other two substances, and therefore ethanol can travel the furthest and is more volatile. Whereas terpenes have more number of electrons than ethanol, but less than of CBD. So then it travels to the second flask here.
Yes.
And for number 3 here, that we're focusing on is the CBD oil here, which got the highest number of electrons out of all and strongest London forces. So therefore, it travels the least furthest, and we collect them here.
Okay.
And the fourth container that is here is the residue, which then is needed again to be run through and to continue the distillation process several times.
For the molecular distillation, we have CBD distillation, and CBD distillation have two molecules, CBD and THC. Ben, how can we isolation from the CBD without the THC?
Okay, so first, this is a quite important question to ask. Thank you very much for this question. And to carry on, this would be quite an interesting question to answer because in this case, as a solvent, we would definitely use two solvents here which are mutually soluble, such as ethanol and water here in this case. But in this case, extract the CBD, of course, because in this case we should also dissolve the CBD into the solvent, and therefore it would dissolve in ethanol better than water, because in this case water has got 4 hydrogen bonds per molecule. I mean two from the lone pairs of oxygen and 2 of the 2 hydrogens, the 2 H and a partial positive charge on the hydrogen. So a total number of 4 hydrogen bonds. Whereas for ethanol, it can form 3 hydrogen bonds in this case due to 1 H atom with a partially positive charge and the 2 lone pairs of oxygen. So it's easier to just break the hydrogen bonds between ethanol compared to breaking the hydrogen bonds between water molecules. So that is why CBD is more soluble in ethanol than compared to water. And ethanol's got a slightly lower density than water, of course, so therefore it will form a layer on top of water, and then you crack the layer of CBD and ethanol dissolved.
For this step, when we have the CBD isolate, after that, can we use?
So, in this case, when you extract the CBD from the whole substance in this case, we therefore carry the CBD into nano-emulsion.
Yes.
Where after we nano-emulsify the substance, this substance can be used for wonderful and important things, such as for medical use, healthcare, and important physical properties, chemical properties, and biological properties too. Such as we use it for soaps, hand creams, also for medical use for the body, to treat inflammation in the body as well.
Yes, very good. Thank you.